Adela, what's wrong?
It's my computer. I got this scary pop-up, and now it won't respond to anything I do.
Let me take a look. I recognize this handiwork. Someone has tried harder this time. Let's see what I can do. It's all clear now.
Honey, where did you learn that?
Apparat's shopkeeper taught me. I had a similar problem and went to her for help.
Do you have an update?
The theft of your jewels may have been a launch pad, a dry run, for stealing what they're really after.
And what do you believe that is?
I hear the crown jewels are going on display. A rare occasion.
Is it possible? I don't know that there is a connection, but the gems in my mother's necklace are from the same era as the crown jewels. They wouldn't even be fake. They could reasonably be used as a convincing substitute for the real royal jewels. When would they strike?
Within a number of days. They must have a plan for getting all 7 keys.
You know the history. I would expect nothing less of you. They would not need all 7 official keys if they make their own.
How could they do that?
For centuries, alchemists were part of the royal courts. If King Leopold II's royal alchemist made the original keys, the plans may still be in his workshop.
You really do know your history. The workshop must be long gone by now.
If it exists anywhere, I imagine it would be somewhere around the castle complex.
Have you had this kind of computer trouble before?
No, not to my knowledge.
Whoever tampered with our computers wanted us to know.
Yes, the thought crossed my mind.
Have you heard of the Residente in Prague?
Yes, but this is a history lesson. We do not have Residente today.
What makes you so sure?
They have done nothing in decades. You waste your time with this.
I'll see what more I can find and let you know.
Well, if it would stop a greater crime, then please continue.
I will. Thank you. Still, check. Check. Can't check that off yet. Still have to do that. Still have to do that.
You just missed today's play. Actually, you didn't. It was the same as yesterday's.
I wondered if you'd still be here. I had a few history questions for you.
Lay them on me.
Did you finish the Residente script?
It's still a work in progress. I'm not really sure how to end it.
Why is that?
Because the Residente haven't finished yet.
Most people I spoke with believe the Residente disbanded quite a long time ago.
I'm not most people.
Do you believe alchemy still has a place in today's world?
The alchemy of those days is a dying art. Like my marionettes. Sometimes I think leaving the past in the past might be simpler.
Why is it a problem? You're keeping your traditions alive.
I might have been better off sticking with video games.
Do you know specifically who originally made the 7 keys?
Yes, it is said that Leopold II's royal alchemist made them. Alchemy was a science back then, and kings kept alchemists in their court. You can see evidence of this all over Prague, down to the smallest detail. Nothing mystical about forging keys, of course.
Do you know his process for forging them?
Merrick knows better than I do. I make marionettes dance, but don't really make them physically. He's a master craftsman. Marionettes, keys, you name it.
Thanks for your expert analysis. I'll keep it all in mind.
Of course. Oh, Nancy, before you go, have you ever read Kafka's Metamorphosis?
Not yet, but I know the story.
Then you know. The real monsters in Prague, they don't always look it.
What can I do for you?
Does your grandfather only work here?
Work, yes. Hides at his desk and does who knows what else. Also, yes.
He's pretty secretive then.
My mother would say that is just how he is, always tampering with something, and he should not be disturbed.
You never thought to sneak a peek?
To watch him tinker with puppets? No, thank you. I prefer computers. They are more challenging.
Were you close to your mother?
She passed when I was young. She was everything to me.
I'm sorry. I know what that's like.
I'm sorry to hear that. My mom was killed, hit by a car on an errand, so they say.
You don't sound convinced.
It was the middle of the night. What errand would she run? But my grandfather would say no more about it.
What do you think happened?
She was hit by a car. More than that, I can't know.
I'm very sorry. I could...
No, what's done is done. What about your mother? How did it happen?
Suddenly. Like yours. If you ever need to talk...
It was a long time ago, and we're here now.
So you really don't know more about Radek?
He's pretty cute.
I meant about what he does. He's so passionate about his craft, even in our modern age.
I have never asked. He has a mysterious quality to him. I trip over my words when he is around.
That's hard to believe.
It is true. I am not as friendly as I appear.
So you don't know how he spends his time?
He speaks mostly with my grandfather. You would have to ask him.
I should get going.
Of course.
Dobry den. Are you looking for Elka?
Actually, I wanted to talk to you. Alchemy seems to be a large part of Prague's history and continues to be relevant today. Do you know anything about the alchemists of the old royal courts?
I learned many skills from those times. I fix old marionettes and automatons, but some tricks got lost along the way.
So you can't turn lead into gold?
Ha! I would not be here if I could. I mean, for example, the old case right there.
What about it?
It belonged to an alchemist from centuries ago, sometime during the 16th century. I could never find a way to open it without breaking it. That I won't do.
May I give it a closer look?
Please, be careful.
Have you heard of the Residente in Prague?
You are afraid of them?
Should I be?
No, they would not bother tourists.
How do you know that?
Why would they? It attracts the wrong attention.
Have you encountered the Residente? Would you know how to reach them?
They don't bother old men either.
Do you know how they molded the 7 keys that lock up the crown jewels?
Not molds, schematics. In those days, they wrought keys in a forge and hammered them into shape. Strong iron made them sturdy, but not the 7 keys. They are more delicate. So they say.
If the schematics for the original keys still exist, where would they be?
Hidden. If they were hidden by the alchemists who made them, they would have locked them away somewhere they could never be found. But not with a key.
Then how? Do you think they still exist?
Alchemists were very clever. The schematics could have been destroyed by now.
You have filled a few holes in my knowledge. Thank you.
At least someone is interested in what I know.
You're thinking of Elka? To me, daughter or granddaughter, sometimes spending time together is enough. Still have to do that. Now isn't a good time. I'll call back another time.
Hey, it's Nick.
Oh, you again.
Ah, Miss Drew. More questions?
What can I say? I have an interest in your history.
History is not the problem.
How often do you need to work with the Dean of St. Vitus?
I have tried to work with him on numerous occasions, but his secretary seems to run an unusually tight schedule.
Can you explain why you were so keen to meet with him?
How would you know that?
He invited me to visit him at St. Vitus. I was in the area.
If you must know, I wanted to schedule the inspection appointment at the cathedral. That is all.
Have you heard of the Residente in Prague?
You don't need to worry about them. Prague is perfectly safe for tourists.
Have they ever been connected to jewel thefts?
You have an imagination. Perhaps in the past, yes. But now?
What do you know about alchemy in the old royal court?
I put the alchemy exhibit together myself.
Is it a personal interest of yours?
The exhibit is over there. I don't have time to talk you through it, but you can go read it yourself. You might not understand it all, so come back and ask questions if you have any.
That's a generous offer.
Please remember to be careful.
I'm not done. Can't check that off yet. Can't go that way. Locked. 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 Can't go that way. Can't go that way. Locked. Locked. Locked.
Prosim.
Hello. I hope English is all right. My name is Nancy Drew. I'm trying to reach the dean.
English is quite alright. I'm afraid Mr. Sokol is not available at the moment.
I'm investigating a case. Maybe I could speak with you.
If I can be of any help.
You sound British. How did you come to work for the dean?
I'm native Czech. I watched a great deal of telly growing up and studied in England.
I thought... I could have sworn that you had trouble speaking Czech.
I find many problems disappear on their own if I only speak in English.
Clever.
My job is to filter, ma'am. That's what I do.
Do you know why Oscar Dvorak is trying to reach the dean?
He's not disclosed his agenda to either of us.
Why do you think he wants to meet?
As head of the gems exhibit in the museum, he has no oversight on the cathedral or its renovation. He has lodged several memos on the subject.
What does he want?
I can only surmise he wants unfettered access to the treasures of the cathedral that he has no respect for.
Is Leo avoiding Oscar Dvorak?
It is my duty as his secretary to filter through priorities.
You never told him.
I filtered, ma'am.
Does the cathedral hold any precious treasures?
There are many priceless artifacts entombed with our saints here, and of course the crown jewels.
I'm sorry, what? The crown jewels are in the cathedral.
Where they lie, I truly cannot say, but I believe they are secure in a vault beneath us.
Who has access to them?
Not me, I can assure you. As for the rest, it is not my place to say.
Thank you for your time.
Of course. When the dean returns, I will let him know that you called.
Please do. Can't check that off yet.